Think you've seen it all? Well, sit down, my friends, because you're about to be surprised. We're seeing all this barbarity with people being poisoned by methanol, right? It's absurd. And look, we really need to stay alert because we just don't know. Suddenly, you could be in an extremely fancy place and end up drinking something harmful, or you could be somewhere not so fancy, but the drink is genuine. There's no way to know. We just can't. Look, it's impressive. Even coffee. They're even counterfeiting coffee. Because it's obvious that Brazilians can no longer afford a large part of society. No, wait, look. We get shocked because it feels like a curse. All the worst things fell upon this country after this guy arrived in this place after that inauguration. The most absurd things, we're witnessing them in this country. All in the name of love, all in the name of kindness, all in the name of their commitment to trying to turn this country into a place of chaos and total destruction. But this coffee thing, I'll tell you guys, right under our noses. The good thing is that the police here in Sao Paulo have been busting everything. Because if it depended on other places, on their investigations, none of this would be happening. People were dying and all that. I'm going to show you here, because look, this one caught everyone by surprise. Even coffee, half of it is tax. Every time you go there to buy a pack of coffee, it's 30 reais. The cheapest, 40, the most expensive. Half of it is tax, half of it is tax. It was bad with Bolsonaro, right? Paying 12 reais for Melita was terrible. The others were 8, 9 reais. Now it's 40 and it's good. It's good. Yesterday, this Pelego, big Pelego here, guys, look how things are. It's crazy. They try to dehumanize the right so they can commit the worst atrocities, right? And have an excuse. So you see a guy, disgusting, he's disgusting. Like this one, spreading all kinds of hate. For the same things to happen that happened with Charlie, with President Bolsonaro, with President Trump himself, with that candidate in Colombia.
What you know is this. I am getting ready to deliver once again the best government this country has ever had. I am preparing all my opponents to say, the people over there, those of anger, hatred, fake news, and those whose irresponsibility led to over 400,000 COVID deaths. I want to say the following to these people. Get ready to fight, because we are going to defeat you again.
Get ready to fight. The people of anger, the people of hatred. That bunch of fools over there in their audience, they're MST unionists, the same old crowd as always, empty too empty. Not even they believe the lies that this dirty guy keeps telling anymore. When he spreads this, he's basically giving a dog whistle for atrocities to happen. They don't want it because they're the angry crowd. Let's eliminate, kill, and do barbaric things. That's peculiar to them. And 70% of the most violent cities in Brazil, the most violent ones, are under the control of the Partido dos Trabalhadores. When it's not Partido dos Trabalhadores, it's PCdoB, Partido Socialismo e Liberdade, or other parties that support or are satellites of Partido dos Trabalhadores. Cities. This image here, right? It's nothing more, nothing less than a region of Ceará, run by the Partido dos Trabalhadores, run by the Party of Darkness. This is a message from the Red Command. Get out or you'll die. This house, it belonged to someone, to a worker who was forced to leave their home because those guys broke in and kicked the family out. Criminals linked to the Comando Vermelho are forcing residents out of a housing complex in Fortaleza, spray painting threats on gates saying, "Get out or you'll die." The guy got his public housing, a hard-working man. Then the Primero Comando da Capital showed up there in Quera, Fortaleza, broke in, took the family's house, kicked the family out. They took possession of the residence here. In the government of love, there's a lot of love, there's a lot of love. Ask if Lula is worried. Yesterday, the Partido dos Trabalhadores alongside Maduro defending the new society. Marina Helena pointed out here Lula, Partido dos Trabalhadores, and the regime that imprisons opponents, censors, and commits fraud. Venezuela's elections favor old allies. In their new society, they command and you obey. Do you know who was there? Look at the nerve here. Look who was there. None other than Humberto Costa, that senator from this state. Right there. Where the greatest atrocities happen, it's the Northeast region, right there, right? I think he's from Pernambuco, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he's from Pernambuco or Quera. The congressman is dollars in the underwear, the captain underwear. It's absurd, guys, it's absurd. Maduro was there. Look, represented by Humberto Costa from Lula's party, he participated in the event where the dictator from Venezuela was a speaker. Maduro giving a lecture. Let's see who's funding these lectures. We know a lot about lectures already. There was this senator right here, a guy who's openly a genocidal maniac, a dictator, a murderer, fraudster, and there's the paidista. At Maduro's lecture, at Nicolas Maduro's lecture, these are some bizarre things. Yesterday, especially on Joaquim Teixeira's social media profile, the comedian and humorist, this happened. He even posted this news here. Lula's unprecedented decision spares JBS from the slave labor list. One of this guy's companies is practicing slave labor. Several people were held hostage. On a farm owned by JBS, Joaquim put it this way: imagine if this happened during the dictatorship Bolsonaro. There would be artists, songs, manifestos, influencers, journalists freaking out, saying that slavery had been legalized. If Ola were one, a situation happening during President Bolsonaro's government, but that never happened. This happened during Lula's administration. This is Lula's biggest partner, friend, and businessman. He only has this fortune because of the vast loans from Banco Nacional de Desenvolvimento Econômico y Social that helped him build all this wealth. Government decision spares JBS. It's a list of slave labor. People were practically trapped, being forced to work in this guy's companies. The guy who represents the Ministry of Labor, Luis Marinho, dropped the investigation against him. Can you believe something like that? Globo. It had no impact. They said nothing, but they're allies and together. Yesterday, 5 million from Instituto Nacional do Seguro Social to a Partido dos Trabalhadores Publicist. Veja Magazine even showed it. I had brought it up here, right? Businessman Antônio Carlos Camilo, known as Careca do Instituto Nacional do Seguro Social, transferred 5 million reais to Daniela Miranda Fonteles, former da Piper Interactive Communication leader involved in Partido dos Trabalhadores Dilma's campaigns. In 2010, the transfer happened in the first year. When the individual took office in 2023 and March of this year, the most profitable period for the gang that was stealing from retirees. The last installment was paid a month before the federal police dismantled the scheme, with 700 agents on the streets. Daniela states that 5 million are installments from the sale of a property. In Trancoso, the deal was cancelled after a court froze Camilo Antunes' accounts. The bank says there is no valid connection between them. The funds are from a party with a history of social security fraud, posing a high risk of suspected money laundering. This woman bought a house in Trancoso. For those who don't know, Trancoso is a paradise-like place in Bahia. Very clean. Imagine a paradise on earth. Trancoso is a paradise on earth. But there, it's very difficult to find a place to stay in Trancoso. It's going to be very difficult. It's extremely expensive. So what do people usually do? They go to Porto Seguro nearby, then take a car, go to Trancoso Beach, spend a few hours there, and then return to where they're staying. Because it's just mansions owned by celebrities at the global level, many of them, yes, supported by the government. Recipients of the Rouanet law, those people have the biggest ones. Anyone from the area knows I'm not lying. You know I'm not lying. The biggest mansions belong to people connected to Lula's government, artists. There are soccer players, there are those too, but I won't say anything about them. Those guys earned it. But the soccer player earned it with his own talent, with his own effort. But artists, freeloaders, and Rouanet law beneficiaries are the ones with houses there. While you know what the biggest absurdity is? While you can't have the same level as those people.
Look here, hey, get the document. He doesn't have it. His is big, please.
Get the document.
This here is the methanol that the police seized this week. It's a mansion for them, methanol for the people, methanol. And besides this one, which was revealed yesterday here by the police here in São Paulo.
Work order executed in Moca, São Paulo of counterfeiting. Coffee counterfeiting. Continuing the inspection of the residence, we found rolls with coffee packaging.
Do you think this will show up on Jornal Nacional or on Fantástico or on Jornal Roger? Or will Andrea Sadi get upset about it? Like, are you seeing these images? Or Natu Zaneri, or Miriam Leitão, or Merval Pereira, or the guy with the dimple, that Otávio Guedes. Do you think they're going to talk about this here? Now even coffee is expensive, and there's counterfeiting too. The coffee you put on your table, the breakfast coffee you offer to your children, to your wife, to your husband, to your friends. We used to love inviting friends over before, but now it's just not possible anymore. Counterfeit coffee is also a thing under Lula's government. Counterfeit coffee. It's like the plague of Egypt, as I always say. It feels like a curse. I hate to mention it, but it seems that way. After that disgusting guy took office, it's only this kind of thing that we see here in Brazil. It's the plague of Egypt, the plagues, right? Now they're in Brazil. Share this video on WhatsApp, on Telegram, on Facebook, so more people can know. Be careful with what you're consuming. They're capable of anything, that's a fact. Share and like to boost engagement. You're already helping a lot. It helps show this to more people and come be a part of our family. Fake coffee. Seriously, guys, this is unbelievable.